Hi guys and welcome back to another video. Today I want to just talk about obviously my travel with Watch Dogs. And you may think, why does he just create this video and just let him just create a type of title that just is kind of what happened to Watch Dogs? Well, that's an actual fact because this video is something that I want to just explain for you to just know what happens to Watch Dogs, what do I think about the games, and what will happen about this as a trilogy in the future. So with this said, we can just actually start from the beginning, from my first travel in this type of universe that is also the same from Assassin's Creed. And the thing that I want to just say is that the first one with Aiden Pierce, for me, even if I know that there was a lot of problems, a lot of people think that this was kind of one of the worst games of all time, I think that this game was actually really good, and I hope that this game was actually an 8 out of 10 because for me, I think that this game was actually quite surprising for its day, and I still think that this game has a lot of much to offer, and for example it's actually better than the second one. So now we can actually move on to the second game where problems start to just spread out. At first, obviously, the story and the protagonist. Even though I think that Marcus isn't really bad as a protagonist, I think the problem of this game was actually the story itself and all of the other characters because they were actually really poor, and I don't think that they were actually talented. So that's kind of really mixture of too many things, even though we were actually at the 50% of the story of the main story. So I think that this was actually really not near the end, but it wasn't actually really there. And this game, as you know, probably if you just see the videos, know that my thoughts were kinda, yeah, it's not that bad, but it's not even that good. So I was actually quite disturbing about this, and I was actually divided because at one part I wanted to just continue the game because the gameplay were kind of really good. I think that I like that. And for example, all about the missions were kind of really differently from each other, and they were kind of there where you can actually just complete them as you want. And I just prefer obviously the stealth ones, so they were actually pretty good. Obviously the stealth mechanics and obviously the act mechanics were kind of interesting. They were obviously differently modded with obviously the tanks of a lot of elements different obviously than Watch Dogs the first one, so they were kind of really interesting as a fact as them. The real problem happened obviously when the game itself started to just not taking itself seriously. And that's the problem because I think that when Watch Dogs is actually taken really not too deep or too seriously, but when it's actually serious but not that much, it's really something good. But in this game, for the kinda 14 hours that I was in, you were just kinda there and just explaining why are you actually that stupid, that funny. I mean, it's not something that you might do if you want to just destroy the bloom, if you want to just be serious and respected, I think. Maybe this is kind of an unpopular opinion, but I think that this was actually the real, I mean, not the real one, but it was one of the problems that I just figured out during obviously my playthrough. And not only this, because Watch Dogs 2 had a lot of problems in general, for example, with the world, with some bugs, with obviously with the police that were just actually chasing you for nothing else. For example, I was actually doing a mission some days after the last video of you that you were going to just see probably kind of tomorrow, but I just created it kind of 2 weeks ago. So when I was actually just doing some missions, I had to just destroy a car, and police was actually just trying to kill them also, so I just tried to help them. I just fired one bullet and then they were all trying to kill me. I don't know why. I know that this kind of real problem that was actually there with a lot of Ubisoft games, but I don't know, guys. In the first one, I know that were actually that problem also, but I think that in the second one, you were just going to see more and more of these problems, even though, for example, the city is more alive in that game. And yeah, I think that this is kind of a really interesting fact, but this wasn't hard enough to just let me just stay there and just playing that game. So with this said, are I'm just going to just maybe answer a question that you are going to just maybe create in your mind. Am I going to just play the third one, so Watch Dogs Legion? Well, the short answer is no, because I don't have probably enough time. I've seen that this type of content don't create enough public to my channel that is also focused on Assassin's Creed. So I think that right now this type of contents, this type of series needs to be stopped. So right now you aren't going to just maybe see others videos of Watch Dogs 2. And that's not also only the problem, because the other fact is that when I just bought the PS5, yeah, I know that's kind of a spoiler alert for the other video that you were going to just see, but I lost a lot of my data files, and that's the problem because I had to just replay Watch Dogs 2 at all. So I've played, for example, a lot of missions because I wanted to just try to just continue this series. But guys, it's actually really hard for me to just replay it at all because I didn't like the story. So it's kind of just me trying to do something that I'm not really liking it. So that's kind of, I know that maybe it's not kind of a really good answer for you, but right now I'm not going to play this game. Maybe in the future, if you are going to just maybe explain that you want to just this series to continue, but right now, guys, I can't. I mean, I'm not really interested about these games, and that's a really shame because at first I really liked the series. If you don't mind, you're going to just maybe just go in there and just see obviously my first playthrough in the first Watch Dogs, where I created 20 videos about it, only obviously of my playthrough, and more videos about the stealth kills and stealth in general. So I know, guys, that maybe it's kinda an opportunity that I just wanted to just throw out, but I think that with this said, I can just maybe try something else. And the game that I'm just going to try, now you're going to just know it, and it's Batman Arkham. Obviously, all of the series, so Batman Arkham Asylum, then not Origins because it wasn't included in the pack, so, bottom Arkham Asylum, Return to Arkham, and then Arkham Knight. So guys, with this said, I hope that you enjoyed the video. Just subscribe to my channel to just leave me know, obviously, for what you think about all of this. Leave a comment down below, obviously, just to know what you think about all of the Watch Dogs Legion to the first one. And with this said, guys, we can just actually see in the first video, obviously, at first of my PS5, and then about Batman. Bye, guys.